Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend, my partner in crime, Joshua. Gangsta Time Code.
It's called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Gangsta Time. What up, everybody listening? What's good, Chris?
Hey, buddy.
What up, Brian? I know we ain't introduced him yet, but I gotta say what up to everybody.
Oh.
Bonus-ode
with our producer, Edgelord Big News Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Hey, oh my god, yeah, we are here with a little bit of a bonus episode. We're trying out a new format where we're trying to split up the monthly sods from the weekly sods, mostly because we try to fit them all into one episode and it could be a lot. So, we're trying it out this way a little bit.
The age-old saying, Christian, quality over quantity.
Yeah. Quality over quantity. Well, we are doing quantity. This is an extra episode of the week.
Hey, but we ain't shoving it all in one fucking episode, alright?
Yeah. I mean, we're doing both, honestly. We're retaining the quality while also giving you more. But
that's a great way to think about it.
Yeah. If you prefer this method of doing things, let us know in the comments. But without further ado, we do have a couple things to talk about this week. Very excited to get into. So let's get into plugs. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram. And NY Chillin' with an EN at the end, not an ING. And that's on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Brian?
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Oh,
yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, because we're cool. So follow us on those things. TikTok. Follow us on Twitter, especially because we do a really good chapter of the week poll, which I'm gonna start doing it for the monthly series as well. Why not?
We might as well.
A monthly RGC.
Little bracket for that then.
Yeah, just a separate. I mean, we'll institute it next week, next month, I guess. But yeah, that'll be.
We can't come up. We can't do it on the spot.
I can't do the Twitter right now.
Fuck the vote. Let's just make it.
Oh, we can choose an RGC, but I'm just saying.
Well, whatever. It's World Trigger anyway. Okay.
Yeah, it's always going to be World Trigger anyway.
Always World Trigger.
So
yes,
yeah. So follow us on there. Let us know what your favorite chapter is. The poll usually drops on Sunday when the weekly series come out, about maybe an hour or so after, maybe a little later, but keep tabs on it by following us. You can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything guys want us to talk about on the show. We already have a question, finally our first fan question that we will be answering in the next episode when we cover our other series, because it is relevant to those series. But thank you so much for reaching out. Please do it more. We love hearing from people. It makes our day. And you know what else would make our day? If you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a like. Give us a nice comment. Give us compliments.
Yeah, we'll talk that shit, man. I'm down.
Yeah, Josh will get down with it.
Mind. That's
Josh will get down with it. I'll get deeply depressed. So be very kind. But anyway, comment, follow, subscribe, whatever it is. We have audio platforms as well if you prefer audio podcasts. iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever there's a podcast platform, we're on it somehow. So check us out. And I guess that's it. We should get into the show proper. Let's start the thingy. World Trigger. The triumphant return of the greatest series in the world.
The champ is here!
Very excited to get it. Say what?
Undisputed.
Oh, undisputed. Don't come at us. This is the best series. But yeah, this is World Trigger. We're starting off with chapter 218, the away mission test, part 16. It starts off in the little video game that they've been playing, the battle simulation in the middle of the away exam test. Ikoma just got shot in the back by Urushima. I just love the little face that he makes as he's dying. His little avatar's like, eh. And Ikoma gets angry, because video games are horde. So he's just like, crap. And they're just like all talking about how like, we told you to watch out for Urashima. And wait, did Tachikawa just use Kogetsu Whirlwind?
He sure did.
Yeah, he did. You should know that. And everybody.
Good move, bro.
Yeah, everybody's kind of like reacting to their win. At the same time, everybody simultaneously gets the special assignment that was revealed in the last chapter. And basically, the special assignment is posing the question of why were the matches in the rank wars between 3 or 4 teams as opposed to just team versus team. And they basically are asking, for answers on that. Pretty much everybody comes to this particular conclusion where they all notice that they didn't specify that they have to answer it as a team. So this entire chapter and into the next chapter is pretty much every team pawning off the responsibility of the question and the different ways they do it. And we start with Osamu's squad, Suwa squad, technically. And Suwa is pretty decisive up top. The first thing he says is like, he looks directly at Osamu and like, you do it.
He said, special assignment, just one person? That, yo, Makumo. Yeah, that's right up your alley, bro.
And you know what? Like, Osamu's like, thank God.
He said, thank goodness.
He said, thank you. He thanked Suwa in his mind. He said, Suwa, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
makes sense. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Makumo. I feel like, yeah, he could probably handle it better, and we don't lose as much with him being out.
Yeah. And he's aware of it. That's like what makes Osamu great as well. He's like, thank God, because I suck at this game.
Yeah. So they don't bring this. They don't bring it up right now specifically, but later on it's mentioned that this essentially the decision kind of boils down to who's your most expendable member for combat.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be missing out on whichever rounds is going on. Depending on how fast they finish up.
Yeah, the actual person who makes that observation is the very next squad as we turn to Rokuro's squad, who is basically, they just got the special assignment, and someone volunteers because, like, can that be me? I mean, this battle sim stuff is kind of, like, hard, and it's a pain in the ass, and everybody's like, well, we can't expend you, Hanazaki, because, you're pretty integral. Like, even though this is hard for you, you're actually pretty useful right now. And aces and Huses are ace, so we can't really spare him. Rokuro is just kind of like thinking in his mind, and he's very hesitant. He's kind of doubtful. And he immediately perceives this, as Josh mentioned, that this is about who is in theory the least useful person in the battle sims. And Sawamura notices this, and I think that's very interesting because he's the one who takes the initiative to be like, hey, Rokuro, I'll do it, because it doesn't really make a difference if I'm gone. I'm probably, not super necessary for the battle sim, so I'll do it. And everybody kind of just agrees, at that point. And I think, I guess I'll comment on this now. I think, the interesting thing about Sawamura is that he's on Suwa's squad. And I think he's used to being led by a more decisive captain, and seeing someone like Rokuro kind of be hesitant. He's kind of advanced for this type of this kind of captain in a way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about, I guess, his upbringing. Not this character in particular, but yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot he was.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the kid with the hat, right? He has got the
No, Suwa Squad is Sasamori. I call him Sawamura. I think Sasamori is the kid who volunteers on Rokuro's squad to do this special, like the kid with the black hair.
Yeah, and whose squad was he on?
Suwa.
Yeah,
Sasamori. Yeah. No, you said the kid with the hat.
Nah, doesn't he wear a hat on his squad?
No, not Sawamura.
Okay, I'm probably confusing him. Well, anyway, the point still stands that, yeah, I did not think about that, and that's why he was so decisive like that, because he learned that from his leader. I don't think that. I mean, I think that makes him advanced in decision making. I don't think that makes him a completely more mature.
Definitely not. I was just thinking, agent. And maybe like I'm kind of out there, but I think like there is like something to be said about like how Suwa made like a very decisive choice immediately, and Saso. I keep forgetting this character's name. Sasamori, I think his name is. He's also kind of going in that line of like kind of taking, like trying to move things forward, and kind of understanding the situation. Like he's seeing Rokuro struggle within himself.
He was able to kind of read his body language, and that's what I was waiting for you to finish. But I will say that, like, I definitely think he is very mature in multiple ways, more than just like the decision making, because he made that quick decision, but he was able to read, like I said, his emotions, like his body language, and recognize that he was struggling, which I guess is not something he's used to seeing his. Maybe that's why he was able to recognize it so well, because of how decisive he is. He was just like, "Whoa, Captain, you gonna say something?"
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to get at, is that he kind of sees a decisive he knows a decisive captain when he sees it.
Right. I agree. That was a really nice analysis of him on just 2 panels, broski. That was, right. Just 2 panels. Yeah, let's go, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get into why I like think that, like, after I have a specific reason of how I was able to kind of like pick that up in 2 panels, if that is the truth. I don't know. That's just kind of like what I'm going on, but we'll get into more of that later. Rokuro immediately is like, what a relief, although I hate myself for thinking that way. Then we go over to Mizukami's squad, who's thinking to himself, is like, well, I got the next match off, but I mean, and I could do the assignment on my own, but I don't think it's the right choice for me. So he basically puts it out to the rest of his squad and asks if anybody wants to volunteer to take the special assignment. And this team is pretty like quick to respond. They're like, yeah, we'll do it. And Arafune pretty much decides, like, takes it from there and delegates a little bit more, which is what Mizukami was actually kind of counting on, is that by putting the energy out there, the team will be self-sufficient enough to kind of take it upon themselves to figure it out, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, they got a team full of leaders, even if they're not all captains. But I definitely remember the girl with the braid.
Yeah, she's on
what?
She's on Azuma squad, I think. Right? No. I'm wrong.
She's on that other squad.
You're right.
With that captain that fell away. That he was kind of.
You're right. She's Kakizaki squad.
I think so. Yeah, I don't remember them by name, but yeah.
Yeah, the other kids, the kids on Azuma squad are
the twins. The twin. Well, they're not twins, but
they have like the opposite.
Yin kids. Yeah,
Yin Yang boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what happened.
No, but she's like a prodigy. She took out Chica. Remember that? That was dope.
Yeah.
She was like, man, I'm gonna use a little piece of debris, but she wasn't ready for that fucking blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, she and the other kid are supposedly prodigies in their own right, which is kind of right. Cool. We then cut to Kitazoe's squad, who is really also pretty democratic, but he tries to assign somebody. He asks Somei to kind of take this up, but then he realizes, like, well, then without you're an operator, so we can't really spare you at all. Like, you're kind of out of the question. Minamizawa is like, I'll do it, and Kikuchihara is not vibing with that. But
not at all.
Yeah,
he was not feeling that shit.
Yeah, he is like he's not feeling it at all. And that Minamizawa doesn't let him get it down. He's like, I got this. He's very much like typical shonen protagonist type kid. He's like, I got it. He's Sonic, basically.
And he's like, dog, pay attention to what the fuck I just said. I just said every reason why you shouldn't do it. The hell?
Yeah. And And after, like, you know, they kind of debated a little while, Kitazoe kind of is like, you know what? I'll do it. Someone else control my units, and Some will pretty much be the leader-ish on this team. And everybody agrees. We then come to Murakami's squad, who's kind of like debating it as well. Kuma is kind of like trying to back out of it because she feels like she's not doing particularly well in the in the battle sims overall. But the team points out to the contrary, is like, well, she may not be like super aggressive offensively, but like I think they think that they'd be worse off without her defensive skill in the game. So, you know, they don't really want to lose her. Murakami is kind of thinking it over and trying to like think about the timing of things. So he realizes like, okay, so we have a break during match 8, so we could just work together on it during our break. And yeah, that's pretty much what they all agree on.
Where the democratic decision.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call this necessarily democratic. I guess, like, I think the operator kind of brings it up where Murakami is, like, being a little too thoughtful and considerate in terms of, like, he wants everyone to get the best out of the situation as they can. So he's saying, like, okay, we all focus together on, like, the things that we're focusing on, and then when the break comes along, we'll tackle it together. So it's not so hard on one person, I guess.
Well, I guess what I meant by Democrat, I guess I thought I meant what you was trying to say before, but they came to the decision with a discussion, you know, like but with a handful of people talking, rather just the captain saying you do this and that's that.
Yeah.
So I guess, you know,
yeah,
but
that's
maybe Democratic is just a little vague for this specifically.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and say that I was gonna wait to the end of the chapter, but I'll just bring this up real quick. I think this is kind of what I was talking about when these assignments first began, and they started getting into the combat phase and stuff. No, not even before that, when the teams were being decided and they had to live together and we was figuring out the dynamics of it. You know, this character in particular, she's always lacked self-confidence, you know? Mm-hmm. And what happened here in this situation... do you remember her name? I'm sorry.
Kumagai?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Kumagai, she, like I said, she lacks confidence when she does have some skills. That she's not the greatest, but she's pretty good at what she does. But if you don't think the best of yourself, you just, you know, you're not going to put your best foot forward. That's just kind of how it works. Mm-hmm. But it was really nice for the other people on her team to really try to flip it and say what you perceive as a weakness is actually our strength, and the numbers just don't reflect that. See, she had lower numbers than the rest of the crew, but that's because she wasn't on offense, which is where you primarily, you know, do your scoring. Mm-hmm. So I thought, and here's the thing, her teammates saying that to her is totally different from these new people saying things to her. It's way more genuine and it's kind of weird that it works that way, but it is more genuine when you hear it from people you're not used to hearing it from, you know, because it just feels more genuine because, you know, the people around you, they care about you. They care about your best interest. They want to see you do better, but they also don't want to hurt your feelings. So they're going to, in the back of your mind, subconsciously, you're going to think that they're not being 100% honest. So I just really like that. I just wanted to bring that up, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that dynamic take place. And that's one of the core things I love about the series, the emotional dynamics. But we'll get into that another time.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on all those points. That's a really good observation. Yeah. Speaking of which, the exact opposite of pretty much everyone on this squad,
almost, yeah.
Ninomiya pulls up and is like, as captain, my orders are, Emma, you fucking do this special assignment.
No reasonings aside from, oh, don't you want to go on the away mission? All right, then, do it.
Yeah. It's very forceful. And Emma has to, I guess, comply. That's the captain. But anyway, I
thought he was going to be cool about it. When he noticed that Emma wanted to be picked, he looked at it as someone that could be manipulated because he has some information. That's fucked up.
Well, he definitely perceives that Emma only wants to go on the away mission because of Chica. So, and I think he definitely knows that Emma's probably the only one who's really passionate about going on the away mission in his squad. Mm-hmm. So I think he's like very much using that card for sure. But in any case, Utagawa's squad are basically talking about it. Yuma volunteers to take. He said he would like to volunteer, but his reading and writing skills aren't up to the task because he's a neighbor. A neighbor. So they can. He can't be blown his cover. The operator tries to take it into her room and do it anyway, I guess trying to bail out and not do this work anymore. But they're like, well, you're an operator. We need you for the game. And she's like, oh, yeah. Right. The other kid on Kakizaki's squad, Kotaro, he volunteers. And Utagawa says, yeah. You definitely got this. And especially since, like, he was recommended by Kakizaki that if he ever volunteered for something that he should let him do it. Which is kind of sweet because Yuma also backs that up and so does Urashima. They're like, Kakizaki seems to really want to encourage his squad to kind of like take things upon themselves and have more confidence to take on certain things. I think it's a very sweet dynamic they have, especially since like he seems a lot older. Well, not a lot, but older than them. Like a very big brother type energy. Before he goes off to do the special assignment, Yuma mentions that just to keep in mind that the rank wars are designed as practice for a mission in the neighborhood. And Kotaro's like, interesting.
How do you know that?
Yeah, yeah. Urashima's like, that sounds really confident. You seem like you're very sure about that. And Yuma remembers that I forget, Rindo mentioned to him that his dad is the one actually who developed the rank war system when he was working with Border, and it's a nice little callback to that. It's definitely information I kind of forgot.
Yeah, I totally forgot that. But I thought you were such a beast. He was built for this shit.
He was. His dad built this game.
He gave me black sugar as he was dying. He was like, yeah, Cougar, you go to that earth and smoke all these niggas. You turn all these humans into packs and then you show them where to go to help us. Smoke them all!
Dude, it's so funny. Yeah, he definitely did prime his kid for this. But yeah, basically, like, I do remember that his dad basically designed this because, like, he has so much experience in the neighborhood. So, like, it was just kind of prime. But yeah, we end this chapter on the outside, where, I forget the female operator for, Tamakoma, what her name is. It's been a while. It's been 2 months and we have shit memory. It's too long. But yeah, she's talking to Jin, and she's like, "Man, Jin, you were right. This is really testing their teamwork." And Jin gets called away to leadership, to the top brass. Basically, they're calling him in, and Jin reveals on the way out that like he apparently can't go on the away mission himself. And I don't know. Our memory is not great, so I think this is the time where he revealed it first ever, but that's why this is the last panel of this chapter. But that's surprising that they don't have Jin. I guess he's like really valuable, especially since his side effect is just like so fucking godly.
Right? They're like, bro, we not losing your ass, no matter what.
Yeah, not once.
You know what? If the world goes to shit, I'm taking you with me, and I'm figuring out everything that might happen. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? That I can help them personally.
Yeah. No, I guess that I understand that. It's just when you have someone who can literally like not only tell the future, but multiple different branching futures, that's pretty fucking useful, and you don't want to risk losing.
Right. Talk about perspective.
Yeah.
That's not one you want to lose.
Definitely not. But that was World Trigger chapter 218. We're going to jump into World Trigger 219, the away mission test part 17. So while we cut to Suwa's squad, and while the rest of the team is pretty much engaged in the battle sims, Osamu is working on his response to the special assignment. And basically, we get a 2-page explanation as to all of the factors that Osamu is considering, which is pretty great. I loved reading it because it is very interesting. There's a lot going on. I guess I'll try to summarize as best I can, and Josh can fill in the blanks if I forget anything. But he already has some bullet points down. He said it in terms of like it's to even out the chances of teams making the battles more balanced, so to say. So like people can't so people can capitalize on the situation. Even weaker squads, like lower ranked squads, don't just necessarily have to be slaughtered by a strong squad if there's an extra squad they have to worry about as well. There are the advantages.
Dynamic thinking, right?
Yeah, there's the dynamic of having some squads having more members than others. So, squads with 3 people would be at a disadvantage to squads with 4 people. So adding more squads to it would probably muddle the chances of the outnumbering squad to succeed. So, and that would also put more pressure on the operators, because if you need to have even numbers of fighters on each team, that's a lot to coordinate for some people, and not everybody's going to have the same standard of being able to communicate with so many people and manage so many things at the same time. It's a lot. And there's also,
it's at that point. It's particular. I don't know if you want to go down point by point.
I'm trying not to, but I kind of did.
No. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I think there's a lot we can unpack with each point as far as how we interpret it, and maybe relating it to other things in real life, not in border world. I mean, anyway. So, all right, I'm just going to talk about that last point because not that I'm breaking it down, but I did have an opinion about that, right? So you can argue and say that all that pressure on the operators would do is produce better ones. I think that's why they left a question mark at the end of it too, because it was just considering that may be an idea. I don't know if that's something he wrote in the end. I guess we'll see in a few pages, like when we talk about the information. That's why I think we shouldn't look at it point by point, because they're literally about to do that.
I think what
I just thought that was. It was again. They're going to talk about it, but I do want to say that this is one of the best qualities about Osamu, and really just about if you want to be a critical thinker in general, right? He's not certain, but he's saying like, well, okay, these are the possibilities that could be linked if conditions were different, and that's for better or worse. My perspective, and that's why I brought up my perspective. I look at that as, the more they got to worry about the best operators. You know what I'm saying? They're still going to be. It's not like they're not going to be able to work all of a sudden. They're just going to have to get better. So that could be better. That could be more of an advantage for border. But who's to say?
Yeah.
Just another example of the great writing in this series and how it leads to more discussion. Yeah. Anyway.
I don't want to gush too much right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying.
This is going to be a lot of gushing later.
That's a great series.
Okay, so one thing I will say that I think he did include is that he talked about, and this is funny because it's very much in the world of sports as well, as to like, well, now we have to consider the fact that these rules prevent the assembling of super teams everywhere, because all of these squads will be searching for the strongest players if there isn't more of variable factors affecting the game.
Specifically, to have multiple teams as opposed to just a team versus team format.
Yeah, and we kind of already saw this a while ago. Apparently, I remember this little moment where the Kako squad, who was an A-rank squad, was trying to recruit Yuma into her squad. I think it was mostly jokingly, but that was definitely a moment where they were where she was just like, "You should join my squad."
They're just saying that would be the norm. Like
yeah,
people
would
would
just
be
happen.
vicious. It'd be like the fucking like sports or something.
Yeah,
Niggas draft round picks and all of that.
yeah,
Or it'd be real chaotic.
yeah. And it'll be, and as a side note, it would also be like kind of a wall for players like Osamu, you know, who are like not strong,
Right.
and people like him would never be seen and not be seen as like a strategic value. But yeah,
I mean, I want to read it word for word if you don't mind.
go for it.
And if my mic will permit it. Also, with fewer factors affecting the state of battle, squads would get comfortable using the same old reliable formations and tactics. We'd see very similar matches playing out over and over again. So I just want to break that down specifically real quick. In certain video games, like that have like a competitive side to it, right? Like with a PvP player base or you know, group versus group, however you want to look at it. Metagames can like the metagame refers to like most advanced tactics available, like meta, right? So the metagame meaning like, oh, this is what, like, you know, you see a lot of the same stuff because, you know, you have viable strategies, and then alternate strategies branch off of trying to counter those strategies and then counter the counters, etc., etc. The meta evolves and develops, right? Things can become rigid, and you say the meta becomes stale, and that's exactly what they're referencing here. That, you know, sure, you know, it would probably sharpen the fighters to be really strong and think of ways to just counter each other, but that sort of rigid thinking is not helpful in a environment where they don't understand all of the variables. Mm-hmm. You know, that's fine and dandy if you're just fighting humans on Earth, you know, but you're fighting aliens from another fucking universe, technically, right? It's like multiverse situation. It's not just space. They're not just out there in space, right? They're like coming through portals and shit, through gates. Yeah, this is multi-dimensional travel. So yes. Yeah, you don't know what to expect.
No, definitely not.
Freezing temperature might be different. You know?
Yeah.
Electromagnetism isn't as strong there. Oh, man.
Low grav, high grav. So many gravs. All of the gravs. Medium grav. It's not good.
Who knows, man? So, yeah, I thought that was a really, really good point. And I think it's not something super profound. I think we've all kind of thought about that, at least in the back of our mind. Mm-hmm. But they're absolutely right. That's all I wanted to say. Like, that was very intelligent.
Yeah, definitely, man. And to top it off, Suicide Squad actually got its first win without Osamu, which I mean, I don't even think that means that's necessarily a bad thing. You know?
Oh, it definitely is not. At least in my opinion.
I think Osamu's like.
Yeah. I think without. I mean, at first Osamu's kind of like ... like, oh, you know, damn, I wasn't there for it. But then someone's like, nah, man, like Osamu's strategies really help. Like, as a matter of fact, he was able to help without even being in the game.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
And you see his little smile. No, Osamu.
Yeah, that's right, you fucking nerd.
Let's fucking go, dork.
You feel good about yourself. With your fucking Wolverine shirt. Is that a Wolverine? Not Wolverine X-Men, but an actual...
It's a bear.
Oh yeah, it's a bear with a fish in its mouth. That's really cool. I want something like that.
Yeah. Yo, honestly, some of these shirts are dope. I like Mizukami's shirt with the hands that go like this. You'll see it as we scroll through, but yeah, anyway. we could spend all day talking about World Trigger. We then get over to something that will probably spark a lot more conversation, the HQ leadership desk, and we get kind of like our first real in-depth look of how they judge certain things in this exam. We actually get to see a summary that they get of how each squad decided who gets to do the special assignment. And it is interesting how like all of that, like all those like little arguments and stuff are broken down into one word each, one sentence each basically. And it is interesting when you like put it in those harsh terms. It's really just to the point and says a lot about leadership and or the teamwork of each team. I I guess we shouldn't go through all of them, but they do highlight that certain squads like Suba Squad and Katora Squad and OG Squad kind of figured it out right away. And Katora is the only person who the people on Katora Squad are the only person we haven't seen up to this point actually debate the special assignment thing. And Katora we get that now where Katora just straight up is like, I'll do the special assignment because it's more efficient. I feel like this takes a lot more time because we are timed on these things. So I'll do it. Talking it out is risky. The longer we spend talking it out, although it could be seen as good and democratic, it's inefficient. So I'm voluntary because I should be the one to do it. And Kodera and Miura could take control of my units. So, it's fine. And Kodera's like, all right, cool. So then we get into all the various responses of the captains for the most part. And the points that were awarded to these squads by the A-rank agents who are examining them as well. So, everybody gave Katora at least a point or two for her decision. Rokudera got a lot of negative points because of his lack of confidence and
indecision. Yeah, and lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, damn, speak up.
Yeah, literally was like zero presence.
Yeah, she violated.
He said at least has to participate in the conversation.
Yo, Maki violated. He said, ouch, Maki, ouch.
Yeah, Jin did.
Someone said at least participate in the conversation.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, Kakizaki also got -1, but only because he could have been a little bit more of a presence as a leader, I guess. The people who got okay marks are like Hitazo and Murakami, where some people called him indecisive, but at the same time he was like, well, he believed in his teammates' intelligence and there's nothing wrong with that. Kitazo seemed hesitant, so that's pretty much why. But somebody gave him a point based on he was more thinking of how to excel in the battle sims and prioritize that above everything else. And then they get into the actual scoring rubric of what they're looking for in terms of this exam. And one of the points is they have to mention the skills honed by making rank wars more complex, mention the downsides of holding rank wars matches between two squads at a time, discusses relevance of these factors to defense missions and other duties of the organization, which that's interesting. When you think about the rank wars in general, but the fourth and final point is basically the relevance to the neighborhood, just making them like a neighborhood mission.
Right.
Kitazo and Emma struggled kind of with a couple of points, but every squad seems to at least hit one or two of these points. And Murakami, Kumagai, a bunch of people responded within the first 2 points. Osamu is among the teams that actually hit on the fourth one, which is the relevance to the away mission. And only 2 got the third one, which is Sasamori and Yuba, talking about how the B rank wars are relevant to defense missions as well. They're not just about being away. It's also about protecting the world that they live in. And it's funny because as much as the away missions have been such a presence, you kind of forget that their job is also to chill here and make sure neighbors don't kill people or kidnap people, as we all know they do. But yeah, only 2 of them got that far. Osamu and OG actually brought up management. Just the real bureaucratic idea of running the rank wars in the first place, and talking about how they split them up because the less squads are participating within a match at a time means a longer season makes it a little harder to organize matches. And that was unexpected, even on the HQ people's part, where they were like, wow, they were even thinking about us, putting together the rank wars in the first place. And the chapter ends basically they're pretty happy that they won. Suwa Squad is. We cut back to them. And then a few hours later...
Osamu hit on all 4 points.
Did he?
Yeah. So if you,
Oh, he did.
I was wondering if he was going to touch on that, but like,
I didn't notice that.
No, yeah, he just mentions that. I suppose those answers fall under the umbrella of point 3.
Yeah.
And it did, because they talked about the management of it, but if you go back to the point, discusses relevance of these factors to defense missions and other duties of the organization. That is a duty of the organization to find the most efficient and effective way to raise combatants and train them and prepare them for situations. You know, if you have a poorly run system that's inefficient, you're only going to be, shooting yourself in the foot, right?
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I think this chapter ends where Suicide Squad a few hours later finally gets the results of the day 2. And that's where the chapter ends in this little cliffhanger. But I guess we'll get into what I was about to say later, but let's throw it to thoughts on the chapter. Josh, what do you think about these chapters?
So I'm gonna before I say what I think, I don't have too much to say myself. I was really kind of looking forward to just seeing how you thought about things and maybe playing off of it, but I will just talk about what's on my mind right now. So I thought it was really critical on this last page here, where they kind of reflected on the battle simulations on how they did on that day. And if you look at the overall numbers, you got 7, 2, they're 2, 7, and 1, which honestly is not a good record at all. Definitely not in football, I'll tell you that.
No, you don't want to be the
Steelers. Not where you want to be at any point. However, they broke it up in half, right? From the first half when they were learning, and the second half where they, where they used some of their experience and they made some adjustments, right? And in that adjustment period, they went 500 exactly. 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie. That is a completely different record than 2 and 7.
Yeah.
It shows that they, that's improvement. It's huge improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure those games that they lost it probably could have went either way in the last few ones, but I'm sure we're going to see how that translates in the next few chapters. Their squad's going to start doing better.
Yeah.
I really want to see if Makumo could get creative with his strategy, I think he's very, obviously he's smart and he's tactical, but it's not like he's been afraid to try out new crazy ideas. But I think kind of like how you had mentioned about how you want to see if he learns that from Kakazaki, that's his name, right? No, Suwa.
Yeah, Suwa.
But that he learns from Suwa how to kind of think on the fly, and that's what I want to see. I want to see his creativity instead of it being something that he had pre-planned. That's like a wacky idea. Just if he could just do that as he goes, oh my God, that could flip battles on their head, man. Because he completely relies on what, you know what I'm saying, on the plans they put in place before the battle. Yeah, he has contingencies, but really those contingencies have nothing to do with his personal touch on the matter. He has to react to everything. Yeah. And he's not always, whatever. That's what I have to say about that. You have any thought? Brian, do you have anything you wanted to say about this? Anything in reaction to what I said?
I feel like I really enjoy, I guess it's really weird. I feel like, what's the name of the dude that's always doubting himself again? Roku something?
Oh, Rokudera. Roku. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that guy, him and Osamu had kind of opposite, their stories this chapter were opposites. One is worried about being taken out of combat and them being successful, and their team is punished for that. And the other one is willing to make the sacrifice to step out and, do what they gotta do for the team's betterment, Mm-hmm. And Suicide Squad was better for it, Osamu was like, all right, yep, I see that I could be a little bit of a fault here. I could be a little bit of kind of he could kind of hold them back a bit. So him stepping aside and taking care of the special tasks and being grateful for taking that task, like that goes a long way, not just for for himself. It's also good for a team, having somebody who like is willing to do whatever it takes for the team, like no matter what. Like, yo, you could just put me to do whatever assignment and I'll do it. No talkbacks.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think I would say that Rokudera is like a little less even like worried about the team, more of himself, because the whole thing is like the way he interprets it is like who's the most useless, and that's not necessarily the question, really. Like
it's not. It's one way to interpret it, I guess.
Yeah, but it's not the way like you should interpret it as a leader necessarily. But yeah, I agree with that, Brian. And to be fair, like I guess like Osamu doesn't necessarily volunteer but only because Suwa was so quick to be like, Osamu, you do it.
I mean, yeah, I was actually gonna mention that actually the way I see it, Osamu kind of got saved by Suwa's quick decision making, and he would have rather did that than went on the battle. Where I guess with Rokudera, where I feel like Brian is right. Like he was scared. He was scared at the prospect of the rest of the team thinking that he may be the weakest, or agreeing with him doing, like if he was the volunteer for the task, that everyone would agree with him, kind of further cementing that he is the weakest. And like you said, Chris, that's not good leadership. Mm-hmm. One, because he's thinking about self. He's got self first. Mm-hmm. You can't be a fucking captain. You got a whole bunch of people you got to manage. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put them feelings aside, and so that you can't distract yourself, because you got to pay attention to multiple people and how they feel, and that is your role, bro. That is what you should really be. The last thing you should concern yourself is your personal fears and inhibition. You gotta listen to your team first. That's what makes you a captain. Otherwise, you're just an asshole.
Yeah, totally agreed. I mean, you know us in World Trigger. We fucking love this series so much. But I think
without a doubt,
this chapter in particular is like, we love World Trigger for the rank wars and all that shit. But the thing about like Ashihara's writing is that he is such a good dialogue writer. Like, yes. World Trigger is literally one of those manga that like I eat every little word up, even though it's mostly like this fucking dialogue of explaining shit, but the reason being is that like not everyone on this series has like a super bombastic personality or very emotional like connection to, but everybody sounds real, like
I just want to say that most characters are pretty chill and level headed. I almost said lame, but that's not what I wouldn't have meant lame like corny. Yeah. I would have meant like real even keeled, like not very super expressive and shit. And they still stand out because of their thought process.
Yeah, it is.
That's skillful for a fictional fucking character, and a whole bunch of them too.
It's incredible. I can't think of another series who writes like this, where I'm like, these could be real people, because like everybody kind of sounds different from one another, but not because of any like bombastic personality type. I mean, some people are like super extroverts, like Minamizawa, guys like that. But there's everybody sounds different, and also everybody like talks like a regular person at the same time. Like we all have like this common speaking pattern and all that stuff, but these little nuances in our personalities that make it different. And I think that's what comes out of everybody's perspective coming into this particular special assignment. And I think like Ashihara must know so much about like just human psychology, just the idea.
Dude, he probably, or if he went to school, if he went to college, he definitely took a few of those courses and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's
because most of the time you retain information from the shit you actually cared about one way or another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the I remember.
Yeah, and everybody's reasonable. There wasn't like a big dramatic argument during this by anybody. Everybody's just a reasonable person because they all understand that they have a common goal. and they're all just cool. You know, like it's really cool to read. You know, when these little subtleties.
You know, I think you're really onto something here, man. Because, yeah, I mean, look at it like this: the only unrealistic part about the dialogue is the fact that everyone, for the most part, is respectful and patient, and they hear someone talk and then they respond. Now, obviously, that's a dynamic of a comic. It's not an actual real person conversation, but even within the constraints of that, right? He still fleshes it out, and it sounds real because, like you said, these are people who are all on the same page with each other. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And don't have to be childish and immature in order to have disagreements and for ulterior motives to come up. You know what I'm saying? It's a very... most of the people are really mature. You know what I'm saying? In different ways. Some are really mature emotionally. Some are really mature responsibly. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, you have some people that lack confidence, and not everyone's perfect, but that's kind of the point, you know? They all kind of try hard at something, or they're trying to try hard at something. And that, again, back to how there's still conflict and contention with still this respectful language and this thoughtful language. People act like, there's going to be conflict and strife, and there's going to always be wars. That's humanity. No. People are always going to be fucking petty to each other. Sure, that's human nature. We don't need to blow each other up or kill each other or steal from each other to fucking still have conflict and then resolve it. And that's what I really, really like about this series. It doesn't seem like it's unrealistic that, you know what I'm saying, the conclusions that they come to. It sounds like, if you had two people who are trying to work towards a common goal or trying to at least find that common goal so that they can work together, because bloodshed is whack. Pain is, pain and strife and being in fear of your life every day is whack. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They come to conclusions. They don't even always agree fully, but you hash it out and you figure out more things along the line. That's how adults deal with conflict.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really enjoy that so much about this series, and I think that was the first time, like, you really helped me kind of articulate that. As a matter of fact, I think there's a lot more to be said about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had another thing, I guess. Shit, now I'm losing it. But I will mention that apparently this wasn't shown, but Kageura and Inukai got into a fight. So those were the only people who had, like, they didn't fight each other, but they argued more aggressively.
Argument.
Because those two generally don't like each other, and Kakizaki ended up just assigning Inukai. But yeah, that was something we glanced over because it was one of the squads we didn't actually see do their thing.
I didn't even know. You're right. I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like I'm focusing on like the subtlety in which he like talks, like displays language, like how nobody says exactly like their raw feelings all the time, but people are very perceptive and they can kind of see what people mean. Like you can always see where a character's coming from, even though they don't necessarily say what they're feeling. Yeah, it's just like he's so good at that, and he's always been good at that. This is just it's just part of it. And there's manga out there where I'm like reading it, and if there's like a wall of text, I'm a little bit like, ugh. But
yeah, even with Jujutsu Kaisen, sometimes I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah,
I through it. But most of the time with World Trigger, it's just this is the what you want.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'll read it all.
Yeah, that's how you know that World Trigger is just such a special manga where, like, when the talk no jutsu moments happen, you're right there. You're right there. You're fucking reading every word, and it's amazing. It's always right. I love it. But that's all I got to say about World Trigger. I think that's the only thing I really like hit upon. It's a shame that this is a monthly series at this point because I miss it so much whenever it's gone, and
At least we got a double chapter.
yeah, I mean we missed a month, so he owed us.
I guess.
No, I'm joking, obviously, but yeah, it's always good to see World Trigger. Probably top 2 favorite series of all time for both me and Josh, and I mean.
It's hard, man. You can't throw away One Piece like that.
That's why. That's the other series for me.
That's the only. Yeah, that's like the only other one. It's just weird. All right, anyway.
It's one of those series that, like, because it's monthly, when it goes away, you kind of forget about it, and then when it comes in, you're like, oh, this is just the greatest series. This is just the best. But I don't know. Any final closing thoughts before we move onward? I suppose. Sasamori. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. I know we have a lot of avid World Trigger fans, and I would love to hear your thoughts.
Where y'all at? Leave a like.
Yeah.
Say something cool. Who's your favorite character? You could tell me that.
Yeah, let us know, World Trigger gang.
Y'all should already know if you've been listening, though.
Mikumo?
This episode, I guess. I didn't say it on this one.
Yeah.
I said on a few other ones.
Yeah. But anyway, let's proceed onward.
Certified RGC.
Well,
certified RGC.
It was.
Certified
Yeah.
RGC.
Well,
That's right.
I guess my heart accidentally hit that button.
That's right. Right.
My heart actually acted for me. But with that being said, let's move on for real. Boruto. This is Boruto. This is Boruto chapter 66, Do or Die. Oh man. This is actually a cool color page. I like it.
All right, if I could give a title to this chapter, and I swear this is the last bit of snark you'll get until the very end of the chapter.
I mean, I love snark.
That's my snarkiness. Who am I kidding? This ain't the last you can get. Anyway, it should be called. You know how they put the letters capital, lowercase, like to kind of make fun of something?
Yeah.
Foreshadowing. That's what we should call this chapter.
Foreshadowing.
We have to say epic foreshadowing. Can you give me one of those, Brian?
Epic foreshadowing.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what I was gonna get, but that was cool. I like that.
Yeah, that was good, Brian.
Yeah, it wasn't, guys. I mean,
it was very good. Hey, that's my brother over there. We both do good voice work.
Yo, nah, man, this. Oh, we about to have fun with this one, guys.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. All right. So anyway, last we left off with Boruto, they were confronting Code in the woods, as you do, and Momoshiki took over Boruto's body, and Kawaki has unlocked the Otsutsuki Karma weapon that Amato has been working on with him. In a last-ditch effort to protect the 7th Hokage. Imagine that. Imagine being a child and feeling like you have to protect the 7th Hokage. So, yeah, he turns into basically a pretty close replica of Ishiki. He has the same horn that wraps around the back of his head and outward. It's actually a really cool design. I will give him credit for this. I do like this design. It's pretty sick. And everybody's just looking on like, whoa, damn. And Code is just like, what the hell? He has karma again? And, he and Ada, I think her name is, I never remember her name, Ada go into like just basically a full-blown conversation about how this fucking guy has karma now. And Shikamaru is listening like, whoa, he has an ally somewhere. He's actually talking out loud. So that's cool. So immediately, Kawaki and Momoshiki get into it. They just start fighting. A lot of two-pay.
Shikamaru's so smart. Shikamaru's so smart.
Yeah, he's like, ally.
That's important.
I'll log that up here in the old noggin. The old Nara noggin. As, Momoshiki, I guess, in Boruto's body gets into it with Kawaki Shiki.
Oh, man!
And, big old alien battle, basically, because these are the two alien gods of Naruto
We're no more ninja. This is what we're jumping out of the ninja realm.
Yeah, you're literally throwing giant blocks at people. I mean, we haven't been in Ninja Land for a long time. It's not even.
It was a little ninja-y before.
I think we lost ninjahood when Susanoo came in. That's not
I'm just saying for Boruto, I felt like they really was trying to get back to their roots. I mean, I hope that's what it was, because
they did.
Otherwise, the fights were really lackluster. But I'm not going to get into that.
I mean, they were trying, but not too long. There's alien gods now, so they get into it. Naruto's like, "What the fuck are you doing? That's my kid, dude." And he's like, "He's also a demon trying to kill you." So. If he dies, he dies, I guess. It's yeah.
Lord Seventh.
Bow, bow,
What do you want me to say?
Yeah. It's a hard one.
He's got to die.
If he dies, he dies.
Father.
This is just murderous shit.
I'll be your son, don't worry.
I'm your son now.
I don't really have to fucking care. Who's in my way? I'm gonna fucking kill everybody.
So yeah, Momoshiki comes in trying to do something with the Rasengan. Lots of countering, fighting. It's actually a really cool fight scene. To go blow for this will be a long, because it's a very long fight scene. But it is cool. I will say that. They do a big Rasengan and weird Otsutsuki claw thing clash. The battle continues. Very cool. Kawaki actually catches Momoshiki slipping. He stabs him with that weird node thing that he shoots out, and then he has like a giant block just landing directly on top of Momoshiki. But Naruto comes in to save his son from being murdered by his other adopted son.
His other adopted son.
He's like, "Listen, man, I can't let you kill my literal child." You
like Kawaki, you're wild.
Please.
You know I'm not about to let that happen. I don't care what the circumstances are.
Yeah. And
Naruto would gladly die before he lets his son die. That's how it works, man. Kawaki was wilding.
Yeah. I think every parent would, for the most part, they would die for their kid. And then, Naruto's just yelling like, "You can't do this shit. This is my kid. We got to find another way." And that's when Boruto actually comes back to consciousness. And he gives him that look. He gives Kawaki that look like, "All right, I know what needs to be done." I see it now. And Boruto basically gets up. And he seems to be using the meds that Amato gave him to kind of suppress Momoshiki to, battle for control within him for a moment in order to have a conscious moment to talk to Kawaki and Naruto. And in this moment, Boruto realizes that, like, well, this is harder than I thought. I don't think that this is viable anymore. I almost killed my own dad. Fuck it.
Yep.
And Kawaki looks at Boruto, is like, "Remember what I said to you once?" And Boruto's like, "Yeah, I remember, and I've come to realize that we're going to have to go through with the last resort. This is too dangerous at this point." And Kawaki agrees. At that moment, Naruto's like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" And then Boruto uses some wind jutsu to blast Naruto away temporarily. Or at least for a little while, to give Kawaki enough time to fucking do it, bro. To take him out. And Kawaki, no hesitation, just eviscerates Boruto's innards with his weird claws.
Senju clan arm.
Yeah, his weird.
The Senju clan, he's a descendant of the sage, right? And that's... No? Just Madara?
No, he's a guy who's like strictly... He's not a Senju clan guy. Right, Brian?
No. Oh, okay. Let me...
Senju clan is the first Hokage.
No. So, okay, what I'm trying to say is the Senju people, or at least the head guy that was super duper strong with his wood jutsus, right? He is a descendant of the sages, right? No. Just like Madara was
maybe you're right. Yeah. The lore of Naruto came in last minute, kind of.
Yeah,
and it is weird to
I don't want to go along with it.
Yeah, and look, I feel like
basically the point I was trying to make is that I'm all of these transformations that's going on. I look at that as like the wood jutsu stuff. Basically, just maybe it looks a little different. It's not really that significant. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's wood jutsu, but I could be wrong. Please don't.
It's probably not.
Please don't.
I'm pretty sure it's not. It's probably like skin and nasty shit.
Yeah, please don't bully us in the comments. It's been years since we've read Naruto.
You fucking dumbasses.
Yeah, he's like,
you
you
idiot.
You don't remember this intense alien lore that Kishimoto decided to shove in the last 30 chapters?
Josh, you're a dumbass, and Chris, don't enable the bullshit. That's not Senju. That's weirdo arm.
Yeah. It's just special, weird, gooey arm jutsu. Ew. So yeah, Boruto's just been...
Not at our tangents, then.
Yeah, Boruto's just been eviscerated. Everybody is just like, whoa. Damn.
Gaping hole in his stomach.
Yeah, and he falls to the ground, I guess dying. I guess this is the end of the Boruto series. Let's give him one of these. And this was a good final chapter of Boruto.
Imagine it. It's like, all right, now we're on Naruto. What was the last chapter?
Kawaki Naruto Next Generations again.
Now we did a time skip. Oh yeah, Boruto's not dead. He's still edged.
I mean, obviously, this is not the end of Boruto.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever. Let's throw it into thoughts. Because that's the end of the chapter. It was a big old action chapter with the death of Boruto for as much as we know. So, Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
What did I think? Raise your hand if you think Boruto is dead. Okay, raise your hand if you for real, seriously, actually think 100% Boruto is dead.
Yo, imagine next week.
I can't see Brian, and you guys can't see Brian, but I can guarantee you that he's not raising his hand.
Brian, are you raising your hand?
No, he's not.
I raised my hand the first time.
But for real, on the for realsies,
for
like
real, 100% actually dead ass.
On the Pinky Promise, this is our real thoughts one. Did you raise your hand?
No, I didn't raise my hand.
Damn, good. We kept the brotherly bond, all three of us, and told the truth. But yeah, go on with your thoughts, Josh. What did you think?
Bro, I don't even know what the fuck I was trying to say. This shit was it really. Oh, we thought he's dead. I don't know. Ain't much happened. I mean, I guess I'm happy that Shikamaru and Naruto's still alive. That's like my biggest takeaway. But you know, when I said the foreshadowing at the beginning, I mean, clearly that's what this chapter is about. Because we remember how the series began with these two looking at each other and capital EDGE when it began. And come on, we know that's going to happen at some point, and this is just a prelude to that.
Yeah.
Boruto is going to wake up and he's either going to have a real big attitude with Kawaki and company, or he's not going to be himself. Oh, who knows, bro?
I don't really have to fucking...
Who knows? Those are all my thoughts. I'm looking through these pages. Is something cool happening? Not really.
Yeah.
I don't mean it like something interesting to really break down and unpack. Not really.
Yeah.
Kawaki got real strong out of nowhere, but I mean that's how that stuff works.
I mean, that was built up with him, to be fair. Like they mentioned that he had the karma and they were trying to unlock it again.
Yeah, I'm not chagrined by that. Don't worry. I am curious, and I hope one of you guys know what they talked about there being an alternate plan where, like, if the med situation doesn't work out, I believe that they would try to reincarnate Boruto or Kawaki, one or the other.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Karma, something like that. Which I remember them mentioning it, and it still wasn't crystal clear to me.
I remember it. Oh, sorry, Brian. Go for it.
Go ahead, Brian. Yeah.
Essentially, they're trying to get Code's body so that they can use him as like a double body for Boruto, I believe.
Right. Yeah, I remember that where they were like, a move to get the karma out of Boruto would be to have him reincarnate through Code's body. If we're correct. Don't bully us in the comments if we're not right. But I do remember that way as well. But yeah, I don't know. If that was all your thoughts, Josh,
Yeah.
I'll throw it to Brian. What did you think, Brian?
I hope to God that this is setting up the Boruto theory that everybody's been talking about since the beginning.
Ooh.
Which is that
Brian.
Boruto is actually the villain of the series. Like, instead of Kawaki. Like, Kawaki is actually the Naruto kind of character in this series. And that scene in the beginning is Boruto possessed by Ishiki. I think that would make this series so much more interesting. Because they've already showed that Boruto is like a mirrored version of Sasuke. And they showed that Kawaki has like a connection with Naruto more so than Boruto does. So I think it would be really interesting to see them kind of mirrored in a different style of series. Kind of like, what if Sasuke was actually possessed by Orochimaru this time? Like that's kind of what it feels like. And I feel like Boruto has so much potential to do something different, but following the same skeleton of Naruto,
Yeah. No,
I do know, and I do think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think like that makes a lot of sense, and that's why a lot of people subscribe to the theory that like at the end of like that beginning is misleading and Boruto is actually the villain, whereas Kawaki is trying to save the village.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I that was what I thought when this happened. I was like, I feel like at the very least, Momoshiki's gonna wake up with more control over Boruto than he had before as a result of this. If Boruto's consciousness comes back, it'll be in a lesser sense, and Momoshiki will have an easier time taking over as the series progresses. That's what I think. But yeah, I also think that that's what this is leading to. It's interesting. I also really like this chapter. I thought the action was cool.
Yeah,
I like Ishiki's
It was
design.
fun. It was a fun read.
Yeah, and I also really like this ending. Because I was like, I know, like, I'm not really fooled that Boruto's dead or Momoshiki's dead, but when I saw this, I was like, whoa, he just killed this guy.
Damn, how's he gonna come back from this?
It was also brutal, like he's just like multiple tendrils are coming out of him. I'm not fooled, I promise. My first initial thought was like, oh my god, Boruto's dead. I was like, just for a millisecond, my like gut reaction was like, damn, he's gone.
It's like that.
But then I was like, it's Boruto, he's not gonna die. But yeah, I definitely think this is interesting. This is all just like such new territory that it's hard to predict either way, but I definitely do think that trying to build up with, the Boruto being the villain of the series, shock after shock horror. But yeah, solid chapter all around. I didn't have any problems with it at all. Had a good time reading it. Do you guys have any final closing statements before we progress onward?
Nope.
No.
Then let us progress onward. Dragon Ball Super. This is Dragon
I'll be
Ball.
honest.
What?
I completely forgot about Dragon Ball Super. I read it, but I completely forgot about it.
Well, guess what, Brian? I'm about to remind you of what this epic battle was. Toyotaru. This is Dragon Ball Super Chapter 80, Gas versus Granola Part 2. And last we left off, it was pretty much just a big old action chapter where Granola was taking on Gas. And I just and that's basically what continues to happen. Big old fighty fight. It's cool. It's Dragon Ball Z battle. But
He does the Iron Man land. He fucking probably creates a fissure on the Earth.
yeah,
Or whatever planet they're on.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does the big Iron Man entrance. They're punching, kicking, blasties galore everywhere. And the real, I guess, meat of the chapter is that apparently, like, Granola can do real shadow clones now, as opposed to just like the little illusions. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
He lands a good blow on Gas, and that's when the other heaters pull up and is like, "What's wrong, Gas? This isn't like you." Oh wait, we forgot to do your whole final form thing. You have another form. You're not the strongest yet, even though I wished it. There's another form on top of it that makes you even stronger than the strongest thing in the universe. And then he yanks the little tooth necklace off of his forehead that he wears off on his forehead. And that just brings Gas into berserker mode, Broly the legendary Super Saiyan style.
Yeah, right. Is that what? Yeah, you know, I've never seen a Broly movie, so like, I'm guessing this is what it's like.
Wait, what? You never seen a Broly movie?
Never, bro. Never. I seen the Cooler fight though. I seen that movie. That shit was crazy. That was pretty good. Seen that when I was in camp, and I was like 10.
You have to see at least like the new Broly movie. That shit was fire.
Yeah, I know.
That shit was fire.
You know what's all right. So the Hulk and Broly had a death battle, and I felt some kind of way.
Oh my god!
I did what I usually do and decided to shut myself out from what I don't like.
You just sit there in your hurt feelings.
I agree with this.
Yeah. That is not how I would have chosen this.
And I don't want to be shown why it works, so I'm gonna just be mad and not and be ignorant. I'm gonna watch it eventually.
I will not.
Where can I watch it on? Do I have to have fucking what's it called? Tokyo box, sushi box, sushi roll.
Crunchy
What's
roll?
it called again?
Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll. Yeah.
No. How do you watch My Hero Academia?
Hulu.
I don't think it's on Hulu.
I got HBO Max too.
I don't think it's on HBO Max. We'll find a way.
Is it Jujutsu Kaisen on HBO Max?
It is on
Yes,
HBO Max.
That's how I watch it. No commercials.
No commercials.
Fuck Hulu. You know I'm not upgrading unless y'all sending me funds to do it.
Unless you pay me to pay you to do it.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, yeah, he goes into his berserker form, which is really he just gets bigger and also teeth grow out of his head.
Gets reverse horn. I don't even know how to reverse tusk. Yeah, he gets reverse tusk. Instead of coming from his jaw, they're coming from his temple.
I mean,
I wonder if Toriyama, I don't know, like, you ever think some of these people just look at what they made and they're like, yeah, this is stupid, but hey.
Look, I mean, I was thinking this. Gas's design is all kinds of I'm out of ideas.
I mean, not to spoil it a little bit by a few chapters, but this isn't technically his final form.
It's
so
his...
I guess he didn't really put too much focus in it for that reason.
Yeah, but
I guess it's not really an excuse for him not to. I'm just trying to say I understand, so I guess, yes, that is an excuse.
It's just like a funny combination of attributes to this design where he's got dreads, tusks,
pretty cool.
Tusks,
Yeah.
no nose, sharp teeth.
Oh, is that so?
He has like nostrils.
So?
He has like Voldemort nostrils.
Ah, yeah.
He's got Voldemort nose. Yeah, he's just strong now. He burst out of his clothes except for his
stronger now.
Yeah, he's just he just looks buffer now.
I mean, he's essentially Broly at this moment, right? I mean, strongest fighter in the universe, and he looks like that.
Yeah. So, and pointy ears. He has that as well.
Mm.
It's a lot of going. But anyway, he just starts. I don't know, man. Laying the fucking hurts on Granola. He is not having a good time.
Oh, all heaters have triangle ears, I think.
Yeah, they all have pointy ears.
Yeah,
but it's just an addition to the overall shit of his design. So yeah, he's just going berserk and like laying it down. He Vegeta can't go an arc without being absolutely humiliated at least once.
Yo, homie came to set it on Vegeta for no reason. He could have chose any of them three. Maybe because theory time. Theory time, masterclass. All right, Vegeta is the strongest one out of those three. That's why he chose Vegeta out of them three and ignored Goku. Goku can't believe it.
Goku's like, how dare you?
Huh?
Don't you know I'm right here? And I always like to fight?
I'm the what?
Yeah,
He screams Vegeta, but not because he's. Oh well, yeah, I think he's worried about Vegeta.
He's like, oh my god, my friend is in danger again.
But why won't he fight me? Fight me instead.
Yo, he kicked Vegeta, and he keeps like laying on the punches on Vegeta. He keeps like,
he's fucking him up.
I don't really have who?
He needed that sensu bean, yo. They hurt.
yeah,
They
yeah,
hurt.
for sure.
I remember they already fought, so it's fine.
It's okay.
Okay, no sensu bean this time. We get it.
Fine. Goku comes in trying to save Vegeta, but also kind of stoked. I know he's like I know he's excited deep down. I know he's like, yes.
He's stoked.
He's a little bit like, yes, he started problems with us. Now I can do something. He comes in, gives him a big old punch, and Gas actually gets flashbacks to Bardock and losing to Bardock.
Right.
He actually runs away. He goes, ha! I think he falls back from...
Yeah, and goes like this.
He goes,
He goes on all fours and puts his head.
damn, Bardock dominated this
It's
guy.
not fetal position, but damn near.
Bow, bow, bow.
I think he's so bulky that he couldn't get into a fetal position if he wanted to. Kind of like how bodybuilders can't really wipe their ass comfortably or whatever.
You're right. Yeah, this is the most fetal position he can get into. It's like,
the most weakling, vulnerable position he could.
my abs are getting in the way.
Fold into.
My abs are getting in the way of my cowering. So, Elec is just in the background like, go on, Gas. Remember, you swore never to lose again, right? And then I guess...
Like Zoro.
Yeah. After that, he was like, I will never lose again, Elec. And I guess that memory just unlocks his desire to win more. And he's like, you know what? You're right. I got to focus up. I got to stop wilding out. And then he just like shrinks down into his, I guess, real final form.
Yes.
That it has a nose now.
And he still has the tusk, but he's not mad big and beastly like Brawly's. Still the same, just
he's got
tusk now.
tusks on his
reverse tusks.
Yeah, his temple teeth, as I like to call them.
Woo! Temple teeth. That's his name, Temple Teeth.
Oh yeah, good old temple teeth Gas. Yeah, basically Elec is like, yes, there you go. Now you're gonna fuck him up good, huh?
He is.
And you know how this goes.
Yeah, or Vegeta's definitely gonna get his ass beat.
Oh
again.
my god. Vegeta saw a man turn into a different form and got flashbacks to Cell. He's like, oh, this usually doesn't work out well for me.
Right, because remember he achieved the Super Saiyan and thought he was hot shit just to get beat.
He beat up by Cell. He's like,
This is a Super Saiyan 2? No way! As he gets his ass beat.
oh
Poor
my God.
Vegeta.
Yeah, rip to Vegeta.
Vegeta. You know why? He's cursed because of what he did to Nappa.
Yeah, this is all karma.
Violate that nigga.
This is long. This is just like continuing eternal karma for Vegeta.
Yes. Are we the first people to point that out? Could not. There's no way.
It sucks because like Nappa was not a good person, but
but that was his man.
Yeah, but the universe
and
decided
he was 100% loyal to him.
Yeah, he's like, you killed your bro.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's
So
gold, bro. That's worth his weight in gold. And he threw that up. He threw that gold into the sky and blew that shit up with a Kai blast.
Yeah, Kai blast.
Yeah, that's what they called it back then. Now it's just beams. I don't know.
They still call it Ki blasts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, the chapter ends with Elec just being like, "Go on, Gas, eliminate all those who stand in our way," and he just nods like, "Bet."
Can't speak anymore because I'm holding it down.
Yeah, because I'm
it really hurt.
I am strong and unbothered now. This is my strong and unbothered form.
Right, because he was a little expressive before. A little bit.
I've become stronger, so now I don't talk as much.
Yes.
Yeah.
No more serious time. We get it.
That's where this chapter ends, by the way. Josh, what did you think about this chapter of Dragon Ball Super?
For what it's worth, I had a lot more fun with it than Boruto, because they both kind of measure up in a way where it's like, you know, more of a fight. Boruto had a harder drop because Boruto died, quote unquote.
No, he's
but
dead.
no, this was, I don't know.
No, he died.
I just enjoyed. I don't know how else to say it, but I enjoyed this chapter more. I'm curious. You know, all right. I'll say what I've been thinking about. I wonder what Bardock did to him before. Like, I want to believe he did more than just beat him up, because I think Gas had him on the ropes.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that's what this dude said, and then he said he changed it. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back to that page, because he does mention it in this chapter. I'm curious. Do you guys have any ideas? Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, Brian, what did you think about this chapter?
I felt like the Broly form thing was really corny, but everything else was pretty fun.
You guys are unforgiving.
I don't know. It just felt really fucking random. Like, just out of, like, it was like an ass pull fucking anger form.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at him. He's angry. Now he's gonna beat you all up.
Yeah.
It was kind of boring a little bit when it came to that, but everything else was pretty fun. I like that he went after Vegeta first for some reason. That was funny. Just out of nowhere, You're muted, Josh.
Yeah, we didn't hear you, Josh. You were muted.
My bad, guys. Oh, yeah, I didn't want to cough on the mic. Pause. You didn't hear my theory about why Vegeta was chosen?
Yeah, of course. I think it was funny.
Do you not subscribe to the theory?
I think it would be great if that was the case, but I don't know. It looks like they're setting up Goku for another dub, to be honest.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
It looks like they're setting up Goku for another dub, all because his dad... because his dad whooped this dude's... mollywhopped this dude's ass.
Yeah.
Maybe in the next arc. When he masters destruction.
Yo, Josh, that's mad hopeful of you to say that Goku's not going to get the W for the team this time.
No. I'm saying maybe next time for Vegeta when he masters.
Oh, man, we say that all the time.
I know, but, I mean, what else can I say?
Yo, Vegeta became a literal god for 15 minutes and still got his ass fucking handed to him. It's unfair.
We're getting this story out there.
Yeah,
To be fair, Vegeta did put in more work against Granola than Goku did.
Yeah. Oh, man, I wish I'd used the slumber thing when he came out.
He put way more work in.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, this chapter was fine. I'm pretty much exactly in line with what Brian said. I'm like, yeah, the Broly thing with the big berserker. I'm also like, why does he have to have another form? He just wished to be. That's why it feels like an ass pull thing where, like, you already wish for him to be the strongest. What more?
No, all right. Okay, see, I thought you were being facetious before, but come on. That doesn't change the fact that he's still the strongest. He just still has that condition, you know?
Yeah.
And he did always have that necklace from the beginning.
Yeah, but they didn't really mention anything about it. It was just part of his character design to me. I wasn't like, he's really holding something
I mean,
back.
hey, listen, I feel you on that. I didn't have any suspicion that had anything to do with there being a limiter on his power. I mean, for all of that, I mean, they made him tall with the wish. And it should have been the other way around. He should have just been stronger, small, and then they took the necklace off, and instead of him turning into a beastie animal, he turned into this tall version, like a full, complete heater, you know?
Yeah.
That would have made more sense aesthetically, in my opinion, but I'm not a mangaka, so I'm not...
You know that Toriyama...
What?
You know that Toriyama doesn't like his villains to stay small, you know? Like,
No.
Frieza was small, then he turned a little bit taller. Like, he just doesn't like short villains.
That is an interesting analysis.
Frieza was a short king. Even in his final form, he was a little short king.
Yeah, but he wasn't as small as his first form.
No, his second form was bigger than
His
his third
second
form.
and third form were big.
It was more refined. He did that same thing here.
Yeah. I don't know.
All I'm saying is he could have remained short and just really strong because we barely seen him fight. That was the thing. We barely seen him fight a lot already. So it would have been cool to see him in that smaller form. And then, like, I don't know.
Yeah, because he was hot shit in his small form, too. Like, they were... And we didn't get to see him actually, like, you know, do his thing in his regular form, which would have been cool to see.
The progression of it is weird, and I think that's what's rubbing you the wrong way, Chris. And I do agree with you, even though I'm not as bothered by it, I guess.
I'm not, like, bothered by it. It is, I guess...
Progressed it better aesthetically, Toriyama.
Yeah.
And the guy I said at the beginning, and I forgot his name already.
Toyotaru? Yeah, no, what I guess, like, I'm only saying this if I have to say anything about this chapter. It would be that was weird. But it is also interesting. When he was in his berserker form, nobody could stop him. So why even, like, turn him back? He was just going to kill everyone. Like, it's not.
I mean, you could argue that they're going to show exactly how he's strong. I mean, he's probably going to have the same strength just with being able to think properly.
Yeah. Whatever. Maybe I'm nitpicking.
I feel you. I'm not mad. I guess now it's my turn to play devil's advocate.
No, you don't like it, huh?
No, I don't. I do not care for defending mid-ass stories.
That's fair.
Mama
mid. Anyway,
that being said, RGC.
What are you talking about, Brian?
I'm kidding.
Oh my God, Brian! You almost popped a blood vessel in both me and Josh's skulls. Are you trying to assassinate? us?
Nigga, I'm going through enough shit, bro. You don't need ass, Brian.
Brian, you're acting like we didn't have just like a hard ass week already. Like we didn't just work all week, but all three of us. Why are you doing
go
this?
through some shit too. Is that your catharsis, Brian?
Just taking out your frustrations on us? How dare you, bro? I trusted you.
That was funny. That made my whole week.
Now we can never trust you again.
That's why we're not doing no monthly RGCs, all right?
You know what? Yeah.
Let's remove the disrespect out of the equation for what is objectively always superior.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's it, right? That's it for Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you guys so much for
listening.
listening.
It was fun. It was my second favorite of the week. Boruto was cool too, though.
Really? That was your second favorite?
Yeah, Dragon Ball. Reading it was cool. Because I don't. I hate to say it, but I don't really care about the story for Boruto. I don't care about it until they give me little reasons to. That's how it is. I'm not super invested. Same way with Dragon Ball. I'm just not. I'm here for the ride. I said that with Black Clover last time, and it applies, but it doubly applies to these series. I'm just here to watch read some cool action and see what happens with some of my childhood series and characters I grew up with.
That's fair. Well, I guess that's it then. With that being said, thank you guys so much for listening. Very much appreciated. That has been our show. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh at JDCole_37 on Instagram, and NY Chillin on Twitter. You can follow Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Also on twitch.tv/It's Punchline if you ever want to watch him play video games. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, or comment. Comment below on whatever video you're watching, whether it's the highlights that we put up for you guys or the full version of the episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts on all the chapters on the show, whatever you got. Like, share, subscribe, all of the things that you do for YouTubers that you like, and let people know that we exist and share the show. It'll be super cool. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. We are on there, so check us out. I think that's it. I think that's all. Thank you guys so much for listening again. We'll see you soon, probably Tuesday, for the weekly episodes. But in any case, thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.